How is it going, everybody? Hope you're having a most wonderful day. I reckon you wonder what all that's for, right? Well, let me show you what it is first. Got the old saw out. And what this is for, yeah, it's going to take a whole trailer load. 54 of them to be exact. Let me show you what we're up to. There we are. If you remember in the last video in the garden, I was showing you that I was working on the fence. I'll show you that in just a second. But these old beds right here, that one's okay. It's in decent shape. This one not so good. This one not so good. The garden's doing really good. But this is what all the wood's for. Yep. I'm starting the process of replacing them. Looks pretty good, don't it? Compared to the other ones. I mean, stand back and look at how that looks. That is how tall those used to be. But over time, those have shrunken and dried out, settled down in the ground, and all that good stuff. Here, a helicopter. Where you at? There it is. I knew I heard one. But over time of drying out and settling in the ground and all that stuff, they've shrunken. But this is how they used to look when we first did them. So we're doing it again, and just in case you're wondering what size these are, they're 8 foot long, 4 feet deep. And I'll give you all the measurements later because I'm going to be showing you how to build the process as I do all this. But this is just an update video for right this second, and at the end of the video I'll show you all the measurements, and then after I get it completely done I'll show you the overall again. But this is how it's doing today. Garden look pretty good, huh? It's coming a long way. But as you can see, I replaced this section of fence. And what I did was this section and that section was already up. Excuse me. Oh, I see my little friend. It was already up. Let's see if he'll stay there while I get him in. Hey, buddy. But this section was already up. The only problem was the backer board, the cross brace, the crosswood, was bowed real bad. So when it bowed, and you stand here and look down it, there'd be a huge bow in the fence. So what I did was I took the two sections apart, shaved all the straight ones, all the straight pickets, pick this up, saved all the straight pickets. The bowed ones are up there next to the building, as you can see right through there, and made one section out of those. Not because I'm too cheap to buy the wood or anything, the pickets, but because that way visually from looking from the house you can't tell the difference. It doesn't look like this has been replaced. So all I did was replace the 1x4s, put the old pickets on it. Now it looks like it's always been here. And I replaced those 1x4s over there, and it looks like it's always been there. So excuse me. There's an overview of the garden. Let me get you some up close shots now. But as you can see right here, old fence, half old fence, old fence, old fence. And if you didn't know that board right there was new, you'd swear that was old fence. It's been here forever. But that's why I wanted to use the old pickets to put on the front so that the fence looks the same all the way across. And as you can see right here, this is the other section that I replaced. I replaced the new crossboard. There's my little buddy again. But this section was bowed too. So since all this was new, I took the half of the good ones that was on this, put on the other section of the fence up front, and then made this whole half right here all new. That way it doesn't look so out of place. Old half with a new half. And yes, I even got the gate finished. Didn't even look much like a gate. If you didn't know what that cross brace right there was for, you wouldn't even know it was a gate. Ta-da! In this short clip, you can see how much better the new bed looks compared to the old. So what I'm going to do is take up all the old ones, show you the measurements for the wood, put the new wood back in, and then show you the finished product. So the next time you see me, I'll probably be in different clothes because this will take the rest of the afternoon and tomorrow. But let's get to it. Alright, here we go, back in the garden. As you can see, I have all the wood up. Every one of them I've got taken up. And over the years, these two have sunken in the ground a good bit. So I may layer the base of this one and that one with bricks to raise it up, get it up out of the dirt. Either that or I'll just have to shovel the dirt down level with the bottom of the wood as I do it. So it's just simpler to just raise it up. And the reason it does that is because as it rains, dirt washes up against it and it just builds up. So that's the reason it's that way. But let me walk you over to this bed and explain what's going on. Now, if you look at this bed, as I mentioned before, it's 8 foot long, right? 8 foot long, 4 foot across. So the first thing you need to do is figure out what look you want, okay? And by that I mean the top row. Not concerned about the two bottom ones, just the top one. The old beds, I had the landscape timber coming all the way down, just like this, and in the small section in between, just like here, all the way over there. Well, it tend to want to curl on me. The ends of it wanted to curl, even though I have it nailed together on the ends. It wanted to curl, the top one. Some of them wanted to curl on one end, some of them wanted to curl in the middle. So I have some real long spike nails that I drove down in between them. But I wanted to try to make this as simple as I could. So I figured out how many of these I needed, and I figured out, well, let's make as few cuts as we have to. Let's make let's make this process as simple as I could. Now, like I said, you'll have to figure out which one you want. Whether you want it like I have this on top, like just a square box, or whether you want a more detailed look for here. You'll be able to use full length this way and just cut these shorter, or whatever, however you want to do it. But for my purpose, I know that I want it like this on top, okay? With it being exactly 48 inches across, I know that I could take a full length and cut it exactly in half. Okay, 8 feet is 48 and 48, right? 96 inches. Cut it in half, throw it over the fence, stack it. So you automatically know you're going, there's a half and there's a half. So there's one board for this end, one full board for the other end. Then you're going to need one that you're going to cut a little less than half. You're going to need half of that one here and half of that one there. Now these boards are exactly 4 inches across, okay? So if you take one for this end and one for that end, that gives you 8 inches, okay? So then you know that you need to take off 8 inches off of your full length board in order for that to fit and make it 8 feet. You follow what I'm saying? I'll draw it out on the table up there when we get up there. And then that's all you got to do. Once you figure those two sections out, just figure out how many you need. Now I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut them all, and then I'm going to stack them in here, and then we'll start nailing them together like this one. I don't know if you can really see this or not. I hope you can. But as you can see, I have the section like I have, right? With the full length on top. So we know that's going to be 96 inches or 8 feet. We know that these are going to be 40 inches because you got 40 with 4 there and 4 there, so that makes 48. So that means I take one, cut it directly in half, and I'll take care of both ends. The next layer, we have it all the way across. So that's going to be 48 inches, right? These in between, well, since you got 4 there and 4 there, you got to take 8 inches off of a full length. Full length is 96 inches, so that's going to make this one 88 inches. Now that I have my measurements, now all I need to know is how many I need of each. So we need a full one on the top, a short one, and a full one. So we're just going to do this in bits so that we know what we got, and we're going to lay them in here. So I need to take a full one and cut it in half, and a full one and cut it in half for that end. So I need a total of 4 48-inch long boards. So let's get them cut. To do this, you can do it by hand if you've got, plenty of time. Doing it by hand, there's nothing wrong with it. Everybody does it, no big deal. I happen to have this compound miter saw, which really is a time saver. You can use a circular saw, you can use whatever you have to do this. I'm just using a circular saw because, a compound miter saw because it's so much easier. And I'm also, this ladder, I bet you wonder what it's for. Well, with my table being as short as it is, and I don't have the arms on here to help hold it. Even if I did, they're not long enough, they'd only come out to here. I'm going to be cutting that, 8 inches off the end, and I'm going to whack some in half. I need something to hold it up out here. Ladder fits almost perfectly, and I'll show you here in just a second. But see, it holds it perfect. Now all I gotta do is mark it and cut it. Now when you go to, let me give you a little tip. Whenever you go to buy these, you naturally want to get them all as straight as you can, okay? But when we went, they had exactly 54 of them, which is how many it takes to do 6 beds, okay? Now you're going to get some that are bowed. As you can see this one has a bow in it. Typically what happens when these things bow, they bow right in the middle. Well, that just happens to be where we're going to cut it. So by the time we cut it in the middle, the bow will be gone when we put it over there and nail it, if that makes any sense to you. So don't be discouraged if you happen to have one that is bowed. Just know going in that you will use this on the ends, okay? That's all there is to it. Now let me get to cutting. Alright, I'm going to show you on this bed real quick, and then I'm going to cut all of them and lay them out. I took one and cut it in half for my 248s. I took another one, cut it in half for my 248s. Now I need to get the one that is right there in the middle, okay? Which is 40 inches because you have 4 on this end, 4 on that end. So that's 8. 8 from 48 is 40. So that's your measurement, 40 inches, okay? So I'm going to take one and I'm going to cut it 40 inches off, and then I'll cut the other one down to 40 inches, one for that end, one for this end. So I'm using a total of one board, half here, half there, 40 inches long on each. Now just in case you're wondering, once you cut off 40 inches, you should be left with 56 inches. Bingo, 56. I'm a little short, but hey, that's okay, it doesn't matter. We're still only using 40 inches off of each one, so there's 40. Now I'll mark this one 40, and I'll have that piece left over for something else. Okay, we have our ends cut and stacked at both ends. Now we need the long pieces. 4 inches here, 4 inches there, that's 8 inches. Take it off of 8 feet, which is 96 inches. That gives you a grand total of 88 inches. So you need 2 of them, 88 inches for the top and for the bottom. The middle one is going to be full length. So we know we need 2 full length ones for over there. And then we need 4 of them cut to 88 inches. So here's one full one. And here's another full one. So now we need 4 at 88 inches. Not a problem. Let's get to cutting. Alright, let me give you a disclaimer first, okay? In the old days, you were not supposed to use treated lumber around vegetable gardens. The reason for it is your vegetables' roots grow through this loose dirt, right? You have the treated wood. When it rains or moisture gets in the wood, it could leach over into the wood, which then could leach into your vegetables, thereby possibly causing illness and sicknesses. You will have to check in your area, okay? But I'm buying this wood at Lowe's, and I forget the name of the stuff that they treat it with. Lowe's doesn't treat it. The company treats it, that they buy it from. This particular lumber, and this is the cedar colored landscape timber, right? Cedar colored landscape timber from Lowe's. It's protected with a chemical that has nothing in it like that. I forgot the name of it, and I pulled it up on the web. You can do the same for yourself. But it is safe for vegetable gardens. Not everywhere is that case, so be sure to check your wood, your area, okay? Because you know how it is, everybody does stuff different, trying to cut corners. But I wanted to show you this, and I'm trying to hurry because I got to get all this cut before rain comes. As you can see, it's getting dark up in that way. We're supposed to have severe thunderstorms. But this is the method that I used. What I did was I just made basically a square box, right? Butt joints at the end, just a square box. The other way I was talking about is, as you can see on this one, I didn't bring the end piece all the way over to the end like I did that one. There's no advantage to doing it. It's just that the last ones I did was that way. I wanted to switch up, and now I'm doing them this way. So I wanted you to see that what the differences look like. There's that one. Okay. Got the short ones with the long one, the full length on the end, and another short one down there. And then you'll have the full one on top of it, and then you'll have the cut one on top. Just like you see there. That's how it'll end up. Whereas over here, I have the long one, the cut one, the long one, okay? I just wanted you to see that. And again, please, please check your local area on the type of wood that you're using. Because in the old days, it was not safe to use treated lumber. Some places still have that same chemical that they use. This, I have checked, it is safe for vegetable gardens. That's why I'm using it. And that's why I used it the last time, okay? Like my wind chimes? Sound pretty, don't they? But it's taken me a couple days to do all this because I'm having to try to find a job. I'm having to do errands, do some work in the house. We had issues there that flared up. So that's why you see me in different clothes this time, and you'll probably see me in different clothes next time, because I'm going to try to get all this cut and stacked before the rain comes and get everything put up, and then I'll start nailing it together. So until next time, see you I'll see you. How is it going, everybody? Another day, another dollar, right? But I'm all finished up with the flower beds, and I thought I would show you, well, not flower beds, vegetable garden beds. I thought I'd give you a final rundown of how they looked. Here we go. It's funny how something so simple can make such a huge difference in the way your garden looks. Let me turn you around. I mean, it just makes it look so much better. Doesn't look all squashed and rotted and everything. Everything looks really good now. Now all I've got left to do is to paint the fence, and I still have to build a double gate to go across here. I have something in mind. I'll get to it later. Main thing is get everything painted right now. So now I get to buy me another tool, a spray painter, and some paint, and go to town on the fence. I probably won't show you all that. This will probably be the last one I do for a while from the garden. I'm starting a new job and got a lot of other things going on, plus the car shows and the channel series and stuff like that. But here's your final walkthrough. We had some issues with some kind of boring worm. So the wife got kind of ticked off about that, pulled up our squash plants. Because they wasn't just in the fruit, they were actually in the plant itself, in the stems. This is, we got 2 left. She's got them treated with some kind of organic stuff to keep them out, hopefully. Cucumbers have done really good. We've got a lot of them. We've got a lot of tomatoes. As you can see, we still got a lot of cucumbers on the vine and everything. Sunflowers are doing really well. The corn, I was surprised. We came out here and, you know, you got the silks and, I mean, you know, everything's pollinating itself really good and everything. That's what these do, these pollinate. They fall down into the leaves, and that's when you get your corn come up. And as you can see, I actually have corn coming up. This is supposed to be a Silver Queen, which is a sweet variety, so I'm tickled about that. But I've got several ears in there. You can see the silks and stuff. Got one there, got one there, got one in there, got one there, got one over there. I hope you can see it, I don't know. These back ones, I don't really have anything on them yet, but who knows? They're trying, right? But at least I'm going to have some. I'm tickled to death about that. Okay. Going to be an ear there, there. Like I said, sunflowers are doing really well. But with that, that's going to wrap this video up. I just thought well, let me show you one more thing. I thought I'd come down and show you the finished product because I promised you I would. And as you can see, it's finished. We're not going to paint the beds. We're not going to paint them. But we are going to paint the fence. The whole fence all the way around. Show you my tomato plant. Remember how tall it was? Well, I got taller. It got so tall, in fact, that I just didn't have anything left to tie it up with, so it started falling over on itself. This is actually the top of it, so if you take this and stand it straight up, you can see how tall that bad boy was. But look at all the tomatoes on this bad boy. But just in case you're wondering, these beds, sometimes the landscape timber will actually curl, even though you have it nailed down on the ends and everything. Even though you have it nailed down, it will actually try to curl on you a little bit. So what I do is I have a bag of spikes or long galvanized nails, whatever they are. And what I'll do is they're long enough to actually go down through the first layer into the second layer. So whenever we're keeping a watch on it, and if any of it starts to curl up, I'll come back and put these. You can see how long they are. But we just drive these straight down, and as you can see, they'll go all the way through all 3 sections. And that will help keep it from curling up. But we just have a bag of those. And I've got some out here in the garden. As you can see, got some right here. Got them in this little box I made. But I just wanted to show you the final turnout of how the beds look in the garden, if you will. Tomato plants are doing real good. They're not real leafy, but they're producing tomatoes like crazy. They're doing really well. But with that said, I'm going to wrap this video up, and I got a few errands I got to run when the wife gets home, and grab a bite to eat. And until next time, that's the garden. You guys get out there and enjoy your car. Get out there and drive it. That's what it's for. And by God, we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for stopping by.